Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy, live from the dog kennel once again. What up, gang? Welcome to the TKS, aka the Kyle Show, aka I don't really know. Let's address the lightning bolt in the room, if you will. If you're watching video, you see I got this nice little gnarly scar right here in the middle of my eyes. I was cutting a lawn that I've done probably like 8 times at least this year. It's a new yard to me. I think they did some tree trimming in the front and cut like all the branches with leaves off of it. And I'm just cruising along on the stand up mower, listening to my podcast, not really paying attention. Next thing I know, boom, my head literally just bounces back, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I was cruising. I was probably going like 6, 7, 8 miles an hour. I don't know, fast enough for me to like get some whiplash. um I had my safety glasses on, I had my boonie hat on. If you watch the TikTok, I had an episode on there, or not an episode, I had a little video on there about what I wear when I cut grass. So if you don't know what a boonie hat is, it's just like one of the hats with the brims that go all the way around. Well, I got a new one off Amazon, and apparently the brim is super big. Actually, I didn't get off Amazon. I got it off Home Depot. Not off Home Depot. I went to Home Depot. Jesus Christ. The brim is super big, which is great. It like actually blocks the sun from your face, from the side of your head, everything. The old one I got super small, and I didn't realize how bad it actually sucked until I got this one, and I was like, whoa, this is like game changer. But with the brim being that big, it impairs your vision. Like, I have to walk around with my neck like back and my head up because I can't see, you know, above me like at all. So they trim these bushes, and I guess just from like being on autopilot and like cutting it so many times, I'm just used to seeing the branches with the leaves hanging down, so I automatically just, I duck. Well, they took all the leaves away, and they left the branch sticking out a good like, dude, foot and a half, probably, maybe more. And this thing was thicker than a baseball bat. And dude, I just smoked it. And next thing I know, I had my safety glasses on, thank God. But next thing I know, I feel just blood just pouring down my face. And I'm like, dude, come on. I already trimmed the yard, which was good, but this was in the front. I'd made like 2 passes around the front yard. I'm like, dude, I still got to finish the front. I got to finish the back, and I got to blow this yard off. I was like, I got blood just pouring down my face. I can feel it. I can't really see it. I didn't also want to stop and look at it because, like, I don't know, Cora looked it up, and it's some, like, genetic thing where, like, if you see your own blood, dude, your blood pressure spikes super high and then goes super low. No matter how calm you are, it doesn't matter, apparently. You still just kind of freak out. So, like, I finished the yard, blew it off, got in the truck. Luckily, I was like 5 minutes from the gas station. I drive to the gas station. I go in the bathroom, and I look at it, and yeah, there's like blood just, running down both sides of my face. I cleaned it off. It's really not a big deal. Looking at it, I'm not freaking out or anything. I clean all the blood up, get everything good, get it, kind of looking like this. There was a little more like blood clotty at the time because I didn't really want to mess it with. Dude, it hurt like a motherfucker. So I wasn't trying to touch it super a lot. And I get it all cleaned up, dude. And then I, wash my hands, everything. And I start going pee, bro. And I'm like literally about to fucking pass out. I'm like, what is going on, dude? Like I said, I was fine looking at the blood, seeing it. I wasn't freaking out. Like I was, talking to myself in my head, like no big deal. Even when it happened, I was just kind of pissed, honestly. It hurt, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital or anything like that. Like, I was more irritated that I ran into this fucking limb than anything else. So I finished peeing, and at this point, if this has ever happened to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You get like super lightheaded, dude. You get like hot flashy. Like, I was just super hot. My whole body is covered in sweat, dude. I like stumble out of the I pissed all over the seat. I feel bad. I stumble out of the bathroom, and I'm just like laying on the floor in the hallway. I'll tell you why I feel bad, because some dude came in after me and used the bathroom, and they're just probably just piss all over the seat. I did go back in and clean it up after I, was able to regain some stability, Um, but that lasted like 30, 45 seconds, and I'm like, dude, what? I don't understand why this like happens, because like I said, like in my head, I'm telling myself, oh, it's not a big deal, it's not bad, you're fine. Like, and it really wasn't. I wasn't panicking. I don't get it. But Cora looked it up after the fact. She's like, oh, you got some genetic thing where, like, it doesn't even matter what you do or say to yourself. Your body just creates a fight or flight response. And unfortunately for you, that's what your body chooses to do. So if you're listening to this, and maybe I might even look it up, but, like, if you have any, recommendations of, like, how to get over that, because it's super annoying. I can't even get my blood drawn. Like, if I look at the vial and, like, all the blood in it, same thing happens. I can't watch the needle go in. I can't do any of that. I just literally will start like hyperventilating, and yeah, it's super whack, bro. Super mental bullshit. But what is up, y'all? That's how I got the Harry Potter, the Harry Potter little lightning bolt going on here, trying to sign up for Hogwarts. Your boy is what would I be if I were to go to Hogwarts? What school would I never even watch? I watched like 2 Harry Potter movies. I don't flame me, hands up, don't shoot, but I don't really give a shit about Harry Potter or like Star Wars or pretty much anything that's like mainstream like that. I don't know, man. They just don't do it for me. I don't know why. Lord of the Rings, too slow. Harry Potter's not enough. I don't know. I just don't dig it. The new Star Wars, they're kind of whack. I enjoyed the old ones. Yeah, it just don't do it for me. Would it be like a Hufflepuff or some shit? You got Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin. Man, I don't know. I feel like side of me is like, yeah, I want to be Slytherin, baby. Old Draco Malfoy. Like I said, I watched 2 of them. I know a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Boy knows a little bit of something about the Harry Potter universe. No, so yeah, that's that. So 7 days. That magical number 7 days. That's what I've been thinking in my head for the last couple of days about this podcast. What was I going to name it? What was I going to do it on? The earth in the Bible, everything created in 7 days. On the first day, let there be light, or I don't even honestly know how it goes. Shame on me, but whatever. We get paid. Some people get paid every 7 days. Your week 7 days. Supposed to put out a podcast every 7 days. Shout out to the people that do that, because I don't know how the fuck you're doing it. Please enlighten me. 3 kids. Right now we're in mowing, like peak mowing season. So I am working, dude, 10 to 12-hour days, sometimes more. I just had 2 13-hour days this week. And then when I'm done, I'm renting my boss's shit for the weekends, and then I go and do my own route. And then if I have cleanup jobs or anything like that, like, dude, I'm literally working nonstop. So I don't know how the hell these guys are putting out a podcast every single week. Not only that, what do I talk about? Dude, I like to, I said it on the last podcast, I like to wait a little while to kind of think about something, what direction I'm going to go in, an idea of some sort, some way, something that we can talk about here. Cause I don't really like to, I don't know, I guess I do kind of ramble when I get on here sometimes. It's incoherent shit. Sorry for that, but your boy's venting sometimes. So 7 days. I do have a cleanup job I was supposed to do today. Didn't happen. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've been talking about doing the podcast. Let's go ahead, do one today. Even before I started doing it, I was like, man, 7 days. Like, what am I even really gonna? Yeah, okay, 7 days. I really liked the concept of the 7 days because, like I said, it's a week or whatever. 7 days. If you're staying productive and you're staying busy, like I have been, you get so much more shit done. That's what I really like about the idea. Like, yeah, you should take your Sabbath Sunday off or whatever. And I wish that I could do that right now. I really do. But when you're kind of in the situation that I'm in, or you're trying to do something, you're trying to improve yourself, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to build a business, like you literally have to be, bro, you got to have that 7 day mentality. You really do. I feel like even if you're like working out, or, you got a diet going on, everybody's like, oh, a cheat day, a cheat day. Man, I don't know about that. I remember probably, dude, it's been a good 7 years now. Before Desmond was born, I was in the best shape of my life. Okay. I mean, I wasn't like yoked, ripped, like big dude, but I was very lean. I was very muscular, uh, at like 145, 150, which is, I'm only like 5'11. Um, I was on the smaller side, but visible six pack at all times. I just felt good, felt strong. Now, in that time period, the whole point of that is like there was no cheat day. I didn't consume sugar outside of like fruit or anything like that. I didn't drink anything besides water and protein shakes. And even the protein shakes I drank were like this like isolate, flavorless shit. Like it was honestly terrible, disgusting shit. But there was no extra added anything. Like I was very strict. Ate every 3 hours, lean meats. Dude, the whole point is there was no days off. I went to the gym 5-6 days a week. It wasn't like grueling, kill myself in the gym, but I was in there doing something, staying active. So that's what I really like about 7 days, because I know it sounds like influencer hustler culture bullshit where, oh, if you wake up at 4 a.m., then you get 2 extra hours a day ahead of the guy that's, getting up at 6 a.m. and doing whatever he needs to do. In reality, that's true. So, like, if I'm going 7 days, that's an extra, 24 to 48 hours over some people. You add that up 7 days a week, and let's say you do that for 4 months, dude, in terms of like hours and days, you're ahead of a lot of people. I know it sounds like some cliche bullshit, but like there's only 24 hours in a day. So every extra hour, every extra minute you can utilize and do something with is putting you ahead of your competition. And this is like very true in terms of like a business aspect, athletic endeavors. You hear a lot. I'm into fighting, so that's kind of what I know about. But I hear a lot of these athletes talk about, yeah, I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to the gym 3 times a day or 2 times a day, and I do that 5-6 days a week because I know my competition might only be going to the gym once a day, 5 times a week. So again, you're getting compound effect, man. It's a great book. Read it, dude. I promise you, just if you do anything that I've said, read that book, because it will change. Okay, I can't say it will change, but it will possibly change your mindset and your mentality. Because every incremental thing you do, or I don't know if I used that correctly, but it compounds and adds up. So you don't have to do a bunch of extra things. The way he explains it in the book is like, say you're on a linear path, right? You got 2 people, they're on a linear path. And one guy does one little thing every single day. Just one small thing, one small extra thing outside of the norm, okay? And the other guy doesn't do anything. So the other guy just going straight, and then the dude who does one little extra thing is going boom, boom, gradually going up at a curve. So after X amount of time, the guy who doesn't do anything, yeah, you've only been doing a little bit, but now you're light years ahead of this dude. It all adds up. No matter what aspect you want to look at it in terms of business, finances, personal relationships, athletics, it literally does not matter. And this is how I think about listening to all the podcasts that I listen to every day, or like reading, or, anything. It's just incremental things that I do. Again, I don't know if I am using that word correctly or not, but whatever, we're going to keep saying it. Is making me that much better. It's just compounding every single day. And eventually, I might not know it, I might not see it, I might not realize it, but I could be learning. I picked this up from another podcast there that I was listening to. if I'm interested in something, I start learning about it. Okay, I do, let's just say I dabble in it. I don't take it on full. I don't go all the way in, but I get tired of it. I learned a little bit about it. I move on to the next thing. Same scenario happens. Let's say I do that with 2, 3, 4 things. There may come a point where I'm doing something that I want to do again, and then I'm able to pull from 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those things that I was doing before. That's going to help me in this thing that I'm doing now. So don't be afraid of trying things. Like, there's nothing wrong with attempting to do something, realizing, hey, this ain't for me. I don't really want to do it anymore. And you put it down and you try something else. I know a lot of people criticize that. I mean, give everything a fair shake. I would say that. Like, don't just pick something up and be like, oh, I can't do it, and drop it, because I'm very, let's say prone. I'm very prone to doing that because I have a just not. I don't want to like sound egotistical and like brag or anything, but like usually when I do things, I'm much better than at least average. No matter what it is, I can pick things up very quickly. I adapt very fast. It's just what I do. So there will be parts of me where if I try something and I'm not good at it right off the bat, and I notice this in my son who's 7, he has kind of the same problem, which is not good. I have to try to help him like get over that, even though it's hard for me at 33 years old. I'm still working on that, but there's nothing wrong with it. Just give it a fair shake, try it a couple times, try to get it down. Maybe it's not for you, put it down, move on to the next thing. Again, 24 hours in a day, you only have so much time, so you don't want to sit here and like air quote waste your time trying to figure something out that you don't like or you don't enjoy. Archery is a pretty good example for me. Like, when I first started shooting, I didn't have anyone to help me with the bow, so I had to like go on YouTube and watch people. I didn't have the money to hire like a coach or anything like that, and luckily I kind of just really liked archery. So even in that process of sucking very badly and I couldn't even hit the target at 20 yards, like I had to figure out how to range my own sights, work my way up on the poundage and all that stuff. I stuck to it because I liked it. I enjoyed it. Even though I wasn't great at it, I enjoyed it. And I've still only shot maybe 300 times. And I'm still struggling at 20 yards sometimes. So like, but I still enjoy it. I still like it. I don't even know why I'm going down that road, but it was one of those things that I could have easily given up. Like, oh, I suck at this, dude. I'm never gonna be able to do this. And there were times where I'd text my buddy who's big into archery, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I can't figure this out. Like, how do I range? And you just gotta take a deep breath, chill, think about it for a second, go back to it. I do that too. My son definitely does that. He's picked up skateboarding here and there. He's been teaching himself, which at one point I didn't even know he was doing it. And I just walk outside one day and he's like cruising on this board down the big ass hill outside. And I'm like, dude, what? When'd you learn how to ride a skateboard? And he's like, oh, I taught myself. And I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, that's what I want to see, self-initiative. I try to push my kids to do things, but then I'm like, oh, okay, are you doing this because I want you to do it, or are you just doing it, because I'm telling you to? And I don't really like that. Sometimes we have that issue. We go back and forth on jiu-jitsu. Like I said, I'm big into fighting, and I kind of put my kids into that. One, because I like it, but 2, it's great for self-defense. My oldest daughter, she was in it for a little while. She did wrestling too. She didn't really like the jiu-jitsu. I don't think she said she liked wrestling more. And I kind of really want her to get back into it because, again, it's very important for jiu-jitsu. But not only that, she was good at it, like very fast. She was very good. She just didn't really apply herself as much as I think she could have or should have. And then we do co-parenting, and it's just hard. If one parent wants to do something, the other parent kind of wants the kid to do whatever they want to do. It's very difficult. She's in tumbling and dance now, so it's fine. At least she's doing something. Again, that's interest. She was interested in tumbling, took a while. We put her in it. She did it for a little bit. And then this year she's like, oh, tumbling's too hard, yada, yada, yada. I want to do dance. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. it's like $20 more to do 2 classes. How about we do, because she's good at tumbling too, and she likes tumbling. I know she does. I don't care what she says. She's been talking about it for years, dude. So I'm like, here's what we'll do. We'll do one tumbling class, and then you can do one dance class. So as long as you stay in them, then you can take your dance too, and you can take your tumbling. But I want you to take it seriously and actually try. Apply yourself. That's really all I ask of my kids is try. Apply yourself and try. Because I think the later in life, those things are very important. If you don't instill that in your children, it's going to be detrimental to them when they get older. All of this I look at from my own personal experience in life, and I'm trying to help my kids not have to go through the same stuff I did. Like, my mom let me do whatever. She literally let me do whatever. She didn't put me in any sports. She didn't make me try to do anything. So now that I'm older in life, 7 days, right? 7 days. Make a podcast every 7 days. Well, it's hard for me to do that because guess who doesn't have any fucking discipline? This guy. This guy doesn't have any discipline. So it's like, oh, I'll do a podcast whenever I feel like doing a podcast, which is really shitty for you guys. And I apologize for that because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a content creator. Same thing in like TikTok and YouTube and putting all these videos out. I have videos still on my phone. I'll go on like a spree is where I start putting shit out. But it's just bad. I have no discipline, man. So it's like I'm trying super, super hard to instill those characteristics in my children so that when they grow up, they don't have the same problems that I have. And I feel like as a parent, that's kind of what you should do. That's like what it's all about. Making your children a better version of you in every facet that you possibly can. That's why I'm very big in, I'll tell you the top things that I listen to on a day-to-day basis, okay? Psychology. I really like psychology because if you can understand your own mind, you start to understand a lot of the reasons why you do the things that you do. And then once you're self-aware, you can act and make change on those things. Same thing with, my self-discipline and that. Like, I know the problem. And I am better than I was before, and I will continue to get better the more that I try. So psychology, big one. Motivational speaking, self-development type stuff. Okay. That's my second one. Huge on that. I really love that stuff. At some point you're kind of just like, whatever, because all these fucking people are saying the same thing in a little bit of a different way. So it's like, you can only take in so much of that before you're just like, okay, like I've already fucking heard it 1,000 times. I went to a speaking event, which was great. It's the first one I've ever been to. It had a bunch of motivational speakers and they were talking about different things. Actually, I've talked about Matt on here before. It was hosted by him. And these people get up here and they start talking about, their experience or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I could do this. Like, there's no reason that I can't. I've said all of this stuff in the first like 3 episodes of my podcast. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's only a certain way to say the same shit over and over again. So at some point it's kind of like, whatever. Use it, get it. I need a G Fuel. Hold on. Caffeine. I've tried to quit, man. I've tried to quit many, many, many times. I love it, man. I need it. It helps me do these 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 13-hour days. Every time I stop doing it, I just feel so slow, so drugged down, man. But yeah. So, psychology, self-development, and motivational speaking. And then business, which there's a lot of different things. That's the good thing about business. You can learn from, I think I mentioned in my last podcast, I found this YouTube channel, Cody Sanchez. She talks about small businesses and stuff like that, or, what businesses to start, how to do them. So like, I really like doing that because I'm still in the entrepreneurial stage of like, okay, yeah, I'm doing the lawn care stuff, but like, what else can I do? What other options can I do? Because this is only good for, the summer pretty much. I'm not huge into landscaping. I do a little bit of, cleanup jobs, tree trimming, bush trimming, stuff like that. I can do mulching, but I can't do like retaining walls and paver patios and all these nice, like, I can't do all that stuff. Um, so that's only gets me so far. So I'm constantly like, and I only have 2 days of mowing for myself. So it's like I got to fill up. That's why I work for somebody else right now. I work throughout the week. This goes back to the 7 days. If you're going to start a business, right, you can't just quit your fucking day job. I tried that last year. Okay, I quit my salary job making $60,000 a year. Gravy, honestly, a gravy job. I worked a lot, but like in the wintertime, dude, I was making bank to do nothing. Run and pick stuff up for my boss to flip and sell. So don't quit your day job until you make, I would say, as much or more through your own business. So right now I work 2 days on the weekend, roughly, probably like a day and a half. If I actually boom sat down and grinded it all out, but usually I separate it just because it's easier after I've been working 5 days already. But I'll fill my schedule up helping other people, basically independent contracting myself out. Right now I've been mainly working with my old boss. So I'll help him, and then that'll be like 3 to 5 days a week, depending. And then I'll go do my own thing. Or if I have extra time, I'll, reach out to some other people and say, hey, you need any help laboring or, whatever you got going on. I need to make a little money. Everybody's looking for workers out here. So do not quit your main job until your business is up and going. Like next season, I plan on going like full time, balls to the walls. Like I got door hangers ready. I'm gonna get some business cards print out. I'm gonna work on my Google business page. Like really get the marketing side pumped up, and we're gonna try to get to, let's say, 50 accounts, maybe even 60, enough that I can do by myself very easily Monday through Friday. And then I want to scale up to, honestly, I'd like to be at like 100 accounts next year. And I think that's 20, 40, 60, yeah, 20 a day, which is pretty doable, honestly, by yourself, depending on route density, like how close together your accounts are, at least for mowing. So I want to try to do that. I might bring in a second guy, 1, maybe 2 days a week to help me out. But primarily, I want to be making all the money right now. Simply because I can do it. I know I can do it. I don't want to spend extra money because I don't really have it. That's the other thing. You don't really want to hire employees until you can no longer do the work yourself. And even when you can hire one other guy. I would say, and I'm speaking just from lawn care because that's what I'm in, that's what I know. I would say stick with 2 guys. You can make a lot of money working you and one other dude. You can do at least 100 accounts easily, Monday through Friday. And at 50, I don't have my calculator on me, dude, but you're talking about 100 grand a year, probably, maybe more. My old boss, he's got almost 100 accounts. He's got some pretty good accounts. I think he brings in on a 30-week average, let's say 180 in mowing. $180,000 in 30 weeks. That's without doing anything else. And 2 guys could do that easily. But he does a lot of stuff on the side. So he's not always out mowing grass because it's not really efficient for him to do that. Yeah, he can save a little bit of money in labor, but honestly, if he's out finding deals, picking stuff up, working on stuff, and then reselling it, it makes more sense to him and for him to just go ahead and do that. He's at the point, though, where he can do that. And if you're not making money another way, you really need to be working in the business as an owner and an operator. And you also, if you don't have trustworthy guys, you have to keep an eye on them. And that's just in terms of not like stealing shit or, milking the clock. But I mean, like taking care of your equipment, making good decisions, just, stuff like that, which is very important. But we got on this whole business tangent. So Cody, I watch her to figure out what I could possibly do next. Or, I'm thinking about getting into window cleaning because where I'm at, I've only seen like one big window cleaning company. So there's gotta be work out there. And I'm like, okay, that's something I could do. That's probably seasonal too, really. But it's just an addition. something extra. Wouldn't cost a lot of money to get into it. I know people say like pressure washing, you know, that's so fucking saturated, dude. Everybody and their mom's trying to do pressure washing. Not only that, it's not a necessity. Neither is window cleaning, but you can target businesses and things like that, and it's a lot easier to get clients and get, you know, contracts because those places want upkeep and they want to look nice. Nobody needs to clean their home. They just want to because it looks like shit. People need to cut their grass, right? So that's a good one. But so I watch her. You can watch stuff on how to grow a business, stuff on marketing, customer relations, contracts. Again, how to deal with other company, business to business sales. You know, business to person. There's all kinds of different things. Dude, I'll watch shit on like accounting because all of this, again, it goes back to the thing. Learn a little bit about this, learn a little bit about this, learn a little bit about this, and then it all combines and builds and helps you in the bigger picture. And this is true for literally anything. Imagine life is a giant puzzle, right? Life is literally just a giant puzzle. And the more pieces that you pick up and you start to put together, you get a better picture from the puzzle. This is what I try to explain to people, like when we're talking about certain like philosophical things. We'll get back to that in a second because it's hard to explain to someone certain ideas or certain thoughts because you spent all this time grabbing these puzzle pieces so you can kind of put them together and you see a different picture than someone who's still working on a corner because that's their main focus. They're not really out here grabbing a bunch of pieces. They found a niche, they found something they like, and they're like all in on that corner, you know, which those are great people to know because then you get a better picture of those pieces of the puzzle, which helps the overall idea. So I'm a big proponent of that too, man. Life is literally a giant puzzle, and your job is to go out here and collect all these fucking pieces and put them together and build the best picture that you possibly can, man. So we got psychology, we got self-development, motivation, we got business, and then philosophy. Dude, I love philosophy. I really do. We are blessed and lucky enough, at least for me, to live in a country like America where primarily it's pretty fucking easy here, you know? You got a house. It might not be the nicest house on the block. It might not be the nicest house in the world, but it's a house. You're safe from the environment. You're safe from predators. You got a place to stay. You got a place to sleep, right? If you go to work, you can probably afford to eat. Okay. Survival needs taken care of. Shelter and food. Boom. Now, outside of work, usually you work an 8-hour day. So that's 16 hours. Let's say you sleep for 8. You got 8 extra hours. You got 8 hours in your day to sit around and either you can watch TV or play video games or whatever you want to do, or you can think. We're lucky enough to where we could just sit down comfortably and think about shit. And that's what I like to do. There was a long period, man, where that's all I was interested in was philosophy. Okay, what does this person think about the world? Okay, how did this person come to this conclusion about the world? And it really interests me because it's crazy. You look back at some of these people, dude, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, and they're talking about shit that we're discussing now in 2024 with all this access to information and technology. That there's no other way that we really would have found out about it. These guys were, I can't even say the word, dude, philosophizing? I don't know. See, sometimes I'm retarded. About their existence on the planet or, you know, where we came from or anything. They're just, and they were way ahead of their time. So philosophy is huge for me. I really like that one. World cultures, I'll listen to that. I love hearing about history of other countries, of other civilizations, because again, it's pieces to the puzzle, right? Philosophy and world culture, those go hand in hand. Honestly, they do. Investigative journalism. That is also some of my favorite shit. I love a person going out there, dude, getting into the nitty gritty of a story or a topic or a problem or, you know, whatever. I love investigative journalism in terms of like corporations doing shitty stuff, the government doing shitty stuff. That's my ultimate bread and butter. Real life conspiracies. Basically, a conspiracy is nothing more than one person or a group of people sitting down and creating an idea or a plan. That is a conspiracy. That is the literal definition of a conspiracy. People conspire every single day, all day long. I'm not interested in like Bigfoot type conspiracies or fucking flat earth or whatever. I care about real deal Operation Northwoods, Midnight Climax, the Tuskegee experiment, MK Ultra, that type of shit. Or proven conspiracies. Or shit where you can like track the money. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a very easy way. Track people and track money, especially with today's technology. Very easily to connect dots that way. Those are the things I'm interested in. Actual facts that can be proven. The wild conspiracies, they're fun, man. They're cool. They're enjoyable. Like, you can't fucking prove it and you can't do anything about it. So at some point, it's like, you're kind of wasting your time. You really are. You living in fantasy land, the whole Q shit, man, get out of here with that, dude. I really don't. Once people start going on, dog, you lost me. I've looked into a little bit of it, and yeah, I don't know. That shit's out there. So we got investigative journalism, culture. I said that because of Radiolab. I love Radiolab, dude. They have just crazy, interesting stories. Science and technology. I love that shit. I love quantum physics. Very interested in that. Again, because it relates to philosophy, honestly. We kind of don't know how quantum physics really work. The best way I heard it described was like, we have an iPhone. We know how an iPhone works and we can utilize the iPhone, but we don't understand. The layman doesn't understand like what makes it work. And he's like, that's kind of like quantum physics for most people, which is very interesting. I love the what if, or the supernatural, or whatever, because I'm a big proponent, and like, again, life is a puzzle, right? Grab the pieces, okay? I truly think that science, established science, goes hand in hand with philosophy, with these quantum physics. What's on the other side that we can't test or see in physical time and space, right? I truly believe that there's more to this planet than what we can see and feel and touch and smell. And again, I think science and that go hand in hand. If you're really going to try to figure out what's going on here, you need both. It's not just, oh, God in the sky, or there's no God in the sky and everything is whatever. I truly believe that everything is intertwined, and that's the way that you're going to find. It goes back to, like, dude, we can go into like politics, Democrats and Republicans. Being all Democrat is not good. Being all Republican is not good. Like, you have to be in the middle, right? You want to pull some Democratic ideas, you want to pull some Republican ideas, and you want to fuse them together and create a better solution to a problem, right? It's not black and it's not white. You want that yin and the yang, baby. Look, we're figuring shit out here. Everything is a mixture to get the best result. It's not just one size fits all. And I cannot stand people that think that way. They're literally, it's like brain rot. It's horrible to fucking communicate with these people and talk to these people, because it's like they're so stuck in their... Bro, I know somebody that will fucking watch Fox News 24 hours a day, bro. And so, like, you try to have a conversation with them, their entire mentality, their whole mindset, their whole mind space is, what does Fox News tell me to think? Everything that Fox News says is true. That's insane. You're an insane person, Okay. I used to know somebody who used to watch CNN all the fucking time, and everything would be from that perspective. You are an insane person. Okay. It's somewhere in the middle. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. This guy is telling some truth. This guy's telling some truth. Okay. Go do your investigative journalism, right? It's your job as an individual. I know it's hard work, and Netflix is way more fun than trying to sort through some shit to see who's bullshitting and who's not. I understand that. But you got to do your due diligence, man. I don't even know how we got off on this tirade. The whole fucking beginning of this podcast was 7 days, and then now we're talking about whatever. So that's typically what I listen to. And then I'll listen to comedy. I really enjoy comedy. Kill Tony is like one of my favorite podcasts. Tim Dillon is one of my favorite podcasts. This past weekend with Theo Vaughn is one of my favorite podcasts. Because again, Theo's interview style. Tony has comedy with interview style. I listen to a lot of JRE because he does interview style. It's not that I love Joe Rogan. It's that he has access to certain people that most people don't have. And he's pretty good for the most part about like asking questions and letting the guest talk. I think we talked about in our last episode of certain, that's kind of how I do my podcast. If I have a guest on, I'm going to sit back and kind of let you do the talking. You know, I'm going to interject here and there with a question, whatever. But like, I want you to be able to get your message out and talk about whatever you want to talk about. If it's that type of person, if I'm just bullshitting with someone, then yeah, we're going to go back and forth, which is fine too. But I'm never going to structure my podcast where it's like, oh, I have the same questions for every fucking person that gets on my podcast, and it's going to be rigid, and this is how we're going to. Don't like that structured style of a podcast. I kind of like it to be wild. I never know what to expect. It could go off into left field, you know, because then you get to talking about shit that you didn't think you were going to even be talking about, but you might find it interesting. And that's the thing I like about Joe and his guests. I listen to every single episode because I never know. Yeah, I might not know the guest. I might not know what they're talking about. I may have never read their book, watched their movie, whatever it is, listen to their music. But they may have some perspective or some information that I haven't heard before or that I've never thought of, and it helps me in some way, shape, or form. I'm just a very curious person. So that's really what I like about Joe. Tim Dillon, dude, he's just funny, bro. He's smart and he's funny. He has a very nuanced perspective and take on a lot of things, and then he also adds the comedy aspect to it as well. I'd love to do like a rant style shit that he does with like the headlines and stuff, but it's just me on these podcasts. I don't have a producer to pull up, you know, articles, and I'm busy doing other things, so it's like I'm not watching the news all the time to see, you know, what's going on in the world, which I probably should be, but at some point the news is full of shit, so I don't care. But his takes on those things are usually super funny, and he's being like sarcastic, but he's doing it in like a mocking way. Like, this shit is really dumb. Come on, what are we doing here? That's why I really like Tim Dillon. Theo's hilarious. I think he's one of the most interesting individuals on a podcast. Just because of the way he thinks, man. The way he thinks, the way his brain operates, the way he talks to people, even super serious people, he's always the same guy. And he's very curious, and he's honestly smarter than people think he is. If you listen to some of the things he says, I think a lot of people think he's dumb, a goofy dude, but he's very intelligent. Yeah, he's one of my favorite because he also, his solo episodes is kind of why I started doing more solo episodes, because he would get on there. I listened to him a lot, and he would just, you know, hey, what's going this past weekend? This is what happened to me this week. I don't really have a lot going on for me to sit down and talk for an hour about what happened last week. Like, the biggest thing is I busted my head off of a tree branch last week, you know, because it's kind of the same monotonous shit over and over again for me. I'm not really in the point or have the lifestyle to where all this crazy shit's going down and I can come on here and talk about it. It just doesn't happen. So it takes me a second to come up with a solo episode to where I can sit down and talk about something that we haven't really talked about before or haven't already gone into depth about. So that's why I like Theo. Radio Lab, that's the investigative journalist one. They do they cover so many topics, and they're usually like hour-long episodes, sometimes a little bit less, but they're very good, very interesting. You never know what you're going to learn on there. I really enjoy that podcast. Kill Tony, it's a stand-up comedy podcast, live show. people come on, they do 1 minute of stand up, they're drawn out of a bucket, then Tony interviews them afterwards. Some people do terrible, some people do great. You never know what you're going to get. It's hilarious. Tony's super funny. He has guests on. They're pretty good. I highly recommend that podcast if you like comedy. And that's just to keep it light. You know, you don't always want your brain you have to give it some rest. So like my rest for my brain is listening to comedy, or very occasionally, honestly, only if I don't have service. If I'm somewhere and I don't have service and I can't listen to a podcast, then I'm going to throw some music on. That's the only time I'm listening to music, or if I'm in the car with the kids, or Cora, because they won't let me listen to my podcast. It's super whack, but whatever. I get it. They don't like the same shit I do. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot of where my thought process comes from, is just from listening to all these different things. For the most part, they're all some form of an intellectual exercise. I'm learning something constantly. Because again, that compound effect, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, it builds up. 7 days, baby. We're on that shit 7 days a week. I am listening to something. I am growing. I'm trying to go up. I'm trying to go up. Oh shit. Okay, so I do got some interesting news, actually, outside of running into a tree limb. I applied for a spot on a TV show. I think it's called like The Blocks or something like that. And it's like an entrepreneur style show where they have up and coming business owners come on, and then they have like big time business owners or the coaches on the show. I don't know exactly the format. I'm going to have to watch an episode. But I applied for it. They sent me an email and said, hey, your application looks good. We want you to do a video interview. So I just did the video interview today. I sent it in. They said it takes 3 to 4 days. They send it to a few different people. They go over your video interview. If they like it, they'll reach back out for a one-on-one conversation on the phone. So, praise up. That'd be sick if we got on there. For really no other reason than it would be fun. Honestly, I think it would be fun. So that's kind of why I want to do it. It'd be cool to, like, I don't know, really outside of fun. I just want to, I don't know. I told them like the whole reason I would like to do it is because the perspective that I come from, the background that I come from, the perspective that I have and the background that I come from, I feel like resonates with a lot of people. A lot of people out there probably grew up with a single mom or no dad, or, you know, maybe a dad, no mom. They don't really have a lot of family to help them with the handout, or, you know, maybe they made some bad life decisions and they're trying to start a business, or they want to do better. And it's like, I'm slowly, gradually doing these things. And I kind of want to show people, hey, it's possible. You know, if I can do it, you can do it too. Boom. I got some more off of that on Facebook the other day. I've been pretty hard on there. I've been pushing reels, doing the story things, like trying to grow my followers, all that. Well, Facebook sent me a email saying, hey, your reels are now eligible for ads. And I'm like, okay, sick, dude. Like, we're doing it, you know? Consistency is key. That's the thing with that 7 days too. On Facebook and Reels, like, I'll post a reel every single day. I'm pretty consistent on there. TikTok, I've been getting a little bit better at, but not as much as the Facebook. It's just easier for me to open the app, post a reel. I don't do a lot of editing, just like these podcasts. I don't edit these podcasts. I take the video, upload it, boom, we're done. Same thing with my reels. I'll do a reel. If it's me talking, I don't edit anything. If I do some like lawn care reel or something like that, then yeah, I do some editing and then I post it. But I just keep it real. I keep it real on the reels, you know? But again, that's just a thing, you know? People watch me, and I know a lot of people say, look at this dumbass on here on Facebook. How does he get that? How does he get ad placement on his reels? I ask myself the same question. How am I doing anything that I'm doing, right? And I'm just here to show you that if I can do it, you can do it too. And I'm trying to build this, you know, step up to show you guys, to let you know it's possible. You can do it. All you got to do is stay consistent. All you got to do is try. We've talked about it a couple times on this podcast. If you just stay consistent, you are literally above, dude, I would say more than 50% of people, because they don't. It goes back to that thing. Remember, we were talking about this is all callbacks, baby. That's a comedy term. You pick something up, you try it, you drop it. Or you can't figure it out, it's not working, you drop it. That's most people. Most people do that. So if you stay consistent and you just try, you're already leagues above those other people. Now, you just need to talk about something that you're passionate about, something that you're interested in, or something that you're knowledgeable in, okay? If you do that, people will see your enthusiasm for said thing, and they will start coming to you. The fans will start coming to you. People will flock to you because people love authenticity, right? People love real. In today's day and age, with social media, everybody is fucking fake, okay? Everybody is a persona. Everybody has a mask on, and they're playing some character on fucking fantasy book, in Fantasyland, on, Fakegram, on fictional talk. I don't know. We're just saying shit. But all these platforms, literally people are being fake. They're being frauds. Those are not those, 90% of the time, those are not those real individuals. That is not me. That is not how I operate. That is never how I will operate. Okay? What you see on Facebook, what you hear in this podcast, what you see on my reels, what you see on, that's me all the time. I'm just being me. I loved when that Future song came out, Mask Off, right? And in that song, he's talking about pharmaceuticals and basically how they're pushing them. And then he's like, big pharma, mask off. Like he's telling people, hey, this is what we're doing. They're telling us to do this shit. We're taking the mask off. We're letting you know, but I'm going to put it in this catchy song. And, you're probably still going to bump it and you're not going to realize what I'm telling you. So I really... That's how I operate. That's how I move, man. Mask off all the time. Just be authentic, be genuine, be real. People are starving for that in today's society. They are starving for authenticity, okay? I promise you. Being real will get you much farther than being a grifter, than, being a fraud, being a phony, because it's just a matter of time until something comes out, or, someone sees an old video or an old tweet or an old Facebook post or whatever, and they're like, oh, this ain't that person. They're just acting. Or, they see you out in public and you're driving that hoopty, but on your, your post, you're fucking whipping a Lamborghini. Be real, man. All that shit will come if you're real. If you're true and consistent and you stay to it and you have a plan, you have a dream, you have a goal, all the other stuff will come. Whatever you're trying to achieve. For me, it's not, I would love to have a Lamborghini. I'm not going to lie to you. That'd be sick for like the inner child in me and my son. My son loves Lamborghinis. Like I would love to one day be able to have one. Be able to afford one where it's not going to financially hurt me in any way. The only way to do that is... Dude, the only way for it to happen for me is owning my own business, investing, having investments, something that generates enough profit to basically pay for the Lamborghini without me having to go out and work 100 hours a week, right? But that would just be fun, and there's other things that I want to do, man. Everything that I'm doing right now is to put myself in a position to where I can meet other people who are more successful to me, and then I can just start compounding ideas, compounding things. Again, a percentage of something is better than a percentage of nothing, right? So don't be afraid to get out there and make partnerships, make deals, if you can have a little piece of the pie. If someone's going to bring something to the table that you don't know, reach out to them. Try to get a partnership going. Give them ownership of the company. As long as it's the right person. Make sure it's the right person. But from there, you can build relationships. You can build your income, which opens up other opportunities, other doors for you to take 100% of something, because now you can, right? But I would love to get to the space where I can have like Think Section 8, but instead of a handout, it would be more of like a hand up. Have income-based housing with a place where you can. We want to have like a built-in like nutritionist there, like a built-in gym in the complex. Financial planning, saving, budgeting classes, parenting, therapy, like all this stuff would be included, right? Because and I would say that it would be mandatory for the people that live there. And every year you would have like, this is brainstorming, right? It would be mandatory for these people to take these classes, because what we're trying to do is improve yourself and improve your life, have like some kind of job center there too, educational center, something. Improve your life so that you can get to a position and a place to where you can get out of here, right? So every year, or let's say every 6 months, we come through, and instead of doing a checkup of like, oh, let's make sure you don't have a job and you don't have this and you're not making too much money to stay here. Like, we want to do that. We want you to start making more money. We want you to have a better career. We want you to be more physically fit. We want you to be more intelligent. We want you to, nurture your kids and grow. Like, that's the whole game plan. So if you're not following it and you're not trying, okay, well, we kick you out and somebody else is going to come in. And right. And I don't know the timeline, if it would be a year, 2 years, or whatever it is. But you're basically trying to improve people and get them out on their own to where they can self-sustain in the real world, right? Joe Rogan talks about this all the time. You want to make America great again? Okay, well, make people great again, right? Make the citizens great again. That's how you improve a country. If the people are better and the people are greater, then they can self-sustain and you don't have to take care of them. The problem is the government wants you to be dependent on them, because if you don't need the government anymore, they can't keep stealing your fucking money. They can't keep robbing us blind. They can't keep screwing us over. Basically, we're all still slaves, and the government is we're on the plantation. The government owns the plantation. We're all slaves, okay? The shack is a little bit fucking nicer. That's it. Wake up, right? So that's the whole goal behind my thought process there. And there's other things that I would like to do in terms of like charities and just things to help society, man. Like, yeah, I want my piece, right? I want to be able to afford more and do better because I have these ideas. I have this ambition. I have these goals. I want to be compensated. That's why we live in a free market, air quote, society, capitalist, air quote, society, because it rewards innovation, it rewards creativity, it rewards ambition, right? And that's what you want. That's how a country grows. That's how a country gets better. So that's what we need to focus on. We don't need to try to hold people down. We need to try to help people up. And there's many different ways you could do it, man. I've said it before, like inner cities, dude. Let's take inner cities. Yes, you'd have to come in with some sweeping law enforcement, and you're going to have to crack some heads of some bad people and get them off the streets, right? And then you're going to need to come in with an infrastructure plan, rip down all the old shitty buildings, okay? And find local contractors to the area that are required to employ people from that city or surrounding cities only, train them, employ them, start rebuilding the cities, okay, using the government's money, the taxpayer dollar, because if we're fucking paying taxes, we should be seeing a betterment of society. If not, what are we using our taxes for? That's bullshit. Taxes should only be used in like a socialist kind of way where we're trying to uplift people and our country, our infrastructure. That's all it should be used for, okay? So now you're training people to have jobs. You're rebuilding their city where they're working at. Now you're stimulating the economy there. You're reducing crime. You're reducing poverty. Well, you're reducing poverty, which in turn is reducing crime. And yeah, slowly but surely, it might take a generation or whatever, you're going to see change there. Start introducing rec opportunities for people, after school programs that are affordable or free for people that can't, subsidize all this shit. We have enough money, man. We're spending it all on war and whatever else, lining the pockets of the I don't know, but we have the money. It's there. Even if you're setting up businesses and things of that nature, let's say the government could recruit people fresh out of college with business degrees. They put them in positions of, importance. The companies generate money, and then you could take some of those profits and then repay the government up to the cost of whatever it was to build the infrastructure. Okay, well, bam, now the government's getting paid back. That really didn't cost us anything. You could even do a little bit of interest, I guess, if you wanted to. So it doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. A little bit up front, but we make the money back. And then you could even, get out of inner cities. Let's talk about rural areas where you want to create an economy. Same scenario, except for you don't have to go in and crack heads. You don't have to tear anything down. You just need to start building. Again, hire local contractors, train guys there, give them jobs, give them opportunities, start building housing, building businesses, draw people in, give them some reason, something to go there for. And what's crazy is I'm some fucking dude in a trailer in Moscow Mills with these ideas. You're telling me the people up in the higher positions of government haven't thought of this shit, can't think of this shit? Come on, man. It's by this way. It's this way by design, right? They want, again, it goes back to, they want people dependent on the system. Not only that, they want crime to happen so that you can arrest people and get slave labor, free labor. They want to sit here and talk about China and how China's got slave labor and sweatshops and all this shit. Man, why don't you look into the prison system in the United States? See about all the manufacturing that takes place inside these prisons. We're talking about Kamala Harris and all the people she locked up and kept locked up because they wanted the free labor, right? It's a fucking sham, dude. This whole system is a sham. I don't even know how we got here from 7 days, dog. We're just going off on a tirade at this point. We've been on for an hour and 2 minutes. There's some shit I need to clip from this episode 100%. But I probably won't. Man, I need a producer, dog. I need an engineer. I need a producer. I need somebody to make clips for me, man. If you're watching this podcast and you could be my producer, you could make clips for me, holler at your boy. Okay, I don't have no money for you right now. I don't. It would have to be pro bono, but we'll stay consistent. We'll keep dropping episodes. I mean, some of my shit gets 100+ views right now, which I think is pretty fucking good for a new podcast without doing any marketing or really anything. We're doing okay. We're on all these platforms. We're doing pretty good. I said in one of my other episodes, if you got 10 people listening, dude, that's 10 people in a room hearing you talk. That's crazy. I have some videos with upwards of 200 views. That means I'm sitting in, a big ass room and 200 people are there. That's crazy. Listening to me talk. So we're getting somewhere. I'd like to honestly try to reach out to some local businesses or something and try to get some sponsorships on some of these episodes. I just need to stay consistent with them. I also want to I was thinking about doing some investigative journalism type shit. So if you would want to maybe watch an episode where I deep dive on again, shit that I'm interested in, or you could recommend something, I might look into it and say, okay, I like that, let's deep dive on that, figure out what's going on. But like Project Northwoods or MK Ultra or something like that, where you want me to kind of, the JFK assassination, Martin Luther King assassination, any of this type of stuff, right? Where there's some, what's the word? Where it just doesn't add up. Okay. Let me know. I will try to do a little research because I only know the basics on a lot of this stuff. I don't know in-depth detail of, who said what, who did what, how did they operate, what really went down. So we could do a deep dive on an episode. That'd be kind of cool. Just because I'm interested in that shit. And I know a lot of people don't know about that stuff. That's why I'm very kind of anti-government the way that I am, because I know some of the shit they've done and what they've tried to do, and there ain't no way in 2024 they just we're all good now. I know we did this bad shit back in the day, but we don't do anything like that anymore. We're the nice guys. And get out of here, dog. Ain't nobody buying that. I mean, some people are, but not me. But yeah, so I think it was a pretty good episode. 7 days, baby. Just keep trying. Keep trying. Compounds, compounds, compounds. If you're putting in effort, 7 days, you can start at 6 days, man. Start at 5 days. Shit. If you ain't doing anything, start at 1 day. You know, bump it up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. 7 days. I really like the idea of that. I kind of want to do like some merch, dog. Some 7 days merch. I think that'd be kind of sick. I don't know. I need some TKS merch too. Anyways, all right, we've been here for an hour and 5 minutes on a solo episode, so I'm going to say peace out to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you stuck around because I feel like we kind of started to get into the groove there later on. The more it went on, it's just kind of how I operate, kind of how it goes every time I do these. Yeah. Give it a, subscribe to the Spotify, the Apple Music, Amazon, Google, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this podcast at. Sign up, man. Give it a like. Follow along. Share the episodes with somebody. Again, I need a producer, man. I need one. I don't have money. I'm sorry, I don't have money. When we start getting money, I would be able to pay you, or we could work something out. But right now, I just don't have. I don't have it. Yeah. So holler at your boy. Leave a comment. This is gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on Spotify. Any way you can leave a comment if you like the episode. If there's something you want me to talk about, or if you got something to say about what we talked about in the episode, leave a comment, man. I will engage with you. I will interact with the fans. That's what I want. I want to interact with people that are listening. Yo, what's up? It's annoying to be just talking to myself. Hold on. Real quick, though. We're talking about solo episodes. Okay, so the reason I have a lot of people that want to come on the show and be guests, but one, I don't really have a space or a location to do the guest episodes. I usually have to go to their homes and shit like that. So that's problem number one. Number two is a scheduling conflict because I'm working 7 days a week. It's hard to sit down and have a time that both of us agree on and can work. And also the energy. Bro, when I get done working, I was going to do a podcast with the kids the other night, but I worked for fucking 13 hours and I got home and I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm intellectually fucking drained right now. There's no way I could do a podcast. I just can't. It takes a lot of mental capacity to sit here and talk for an hour. And I like to do at least an hour. If I can't fill that time, then I really don't even want to make the podcast. So yeah, that's where we're at. I got 1, 2, 3, I want to say 4 people right now lined up to be guests. And then I have 3 other potential ones who are just friends that really aren't doing anything. They kind of just want to get on the podcast and chat, which is fine. I have no problem doing that. Tell their stories about life or whatever, which again, I'm just curious, interested person. So that's fine. But those are kind of my lower priority. No offense to them, guests. So I need to get these other people on first that kind of have shit going on. They got shit to promote, got shit, something to say. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. I don't know. But anyways, I'm out of here, y'all. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Have a great morning, night, whatever, wherever y'all are at, whenever y'all are. Later.